Your helicopter makes me feel more secure, big brother. Thank you.
Realize who you're protecting?
Yeah.
People here just don't want the death that comes out of there, the war, the global warming from industrialization.
He said that he didn't want anybody to get hurt. I said people are being hurt every day because of those people up there. Hello?
By the millions. Every day.
Star Wars. Are you
All the things these people do for profit. All the things these people do for profit. I know you have to do your job, but realize what side you're on here.
Dear police, please join the Oath Keepers and don't confiscate our weapons and round up citizens in the event of martial law.
That's right.
Thank you, buddy.
Are you kidding? Who's Darth Vader on all you ass clowns? Who's Darth Vader? Who's Darth Vader?
Oathkeepers.org website and enlist today. Please don't take our guns when they give you the order to do it. Please don't take us to the FEMA camps when they tell you to take us to the FEMA camps. Let us be. We do not want war with you. We are your brothers and your sisters. We are you. You are us. You are citizens of the California Republic.
Do the right thing and I'll do the right thing. I'll shut up.
Please shut the fuck up.
Seriously, like that.
Iran was just in Fukushima. I mean, the Manhattan Project was conceived out there. Yes. You know, so fuck them. Just fuck them all to fucking hell.
You could quote her on that.
Fuck them to fucking hell. I'll second it.
Thanks for coming.
Right, Andy. Thank you.
They're in on it. The elite are going to be social Darwinistic, ruthless, evil, satanic scum, just like the Nazis. You know, out there rituals and dressed up in colored robes, in black robes and had black magic rituals. The Nazis did that. The Nazis believed in black magic and occult power, just like the elite Illuminati today.
Long live the Republic.
Bohemian Grove. So the Bohemian Grove, I've gotta go see the Bohemian.
Are we going to be going to the Grove this year or what?
Oh, of course, and I am looking forward to joining you.
You gotta go, you gotta see. I gotta see what's happening there. I'm not sure what's happening.
No one's sure what's happening there.
I want to go, I want to check it out, and then I want to leave.
I think I'm on the guest list. Mark Day, I'm on the guest
Why
list.
did you come out here? Not too many people could make it out here. We almost got lost, so it's not an easy place to find.
I think it's my duty because I live here in Sonoma County. I live in Santa Rosa.
Okay.
So I need to be out here because I'm local, and this affects me like first and foremost before everybody else because I'm from this area. So it was my duty to come out here and do that.
Why did Senator John DeCamp say that in the 1980s that boys were sexually abused and shot child porn in the Bohemian Grove? That's not an internet rumor, that's a former Senator. John DeCamp said that Paul Bonanzi and other children were taken into the Grove in the 1980s and sexually abused and shot child porn by one of the groups in here.
But But you're gonna march with us.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there in the march. And yeah.
So.
Every day.
I was told that we couldn't go in the street because they don't want anybody to get hurt. My response was, people get hurt every day because of those people up at the Bohemian Grove.
Right!
They should be protecting us from them, not them from us.
When the Bohemians are not here in the Bohemian Grove, they rent it out to, you can rent it for a day to have a private event there. So when I was maybe like, I don't know, 13, 14 years old, I was actually attending a private event in the Bohemian Grove.
It's Bohemian Grove. I'm one of those that don't believe in what has been done before. I want to go with what I know, which is what Hard
So you don't believe that? You don't believe a lot of the stories?
Well, no, I don't take that. I go, that's what they produce. Is it true? If you do it, you know for a fact what you found and what you have. Go with what you know.
So you want to
find out. And so I'm going to travel with Greg Fernandez, and this is just a little over a month away because they do it the last end of July, roughly.
June, right?
In a June or July, you know, you have to double check that. So the thing that we're doing is looking at the truth. I'm one that wants to look at the truth, not say what other people's foundation that was good might have been or might not have been, because I can't vet what they did if it was real. That could have been a very elaborate production made to look as though it were. What I do is do what I know and know what I do. If you do that way with your own life, you can speak authoritatively about anything because you know it, you've done it yourself. So if you want the truth, go for it. But go well and get the truth and send it to us. And we'll talk about it or even interview you on Hard Talk like Sonny Decide, a great stand-up comic that you need to see. We'll come right back after this.
What are your thoughts on the cremation of care?
Well, you know, I don't think they care anyway. So what they're just doing is saying we're going to have however long we're going to be here, a debauchery, and we're not going to worry about our jobs or our families, but they couldn't care less about us.
How do you feel about the cremation of care?
Oh my God, it's a satanic ritual, and it has no place in our society or in our world.
Awesome.
These people, I mean, I guess it's a freedom of speech for them to do that, but I mean, it doesn't belong in our society as far as I'm concerned, from a moral standpoint.
All right, thanks a lot, brother. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah.
They're all widow sons. They are all widow sons. That's why they're defending the Illuminati and the elite. They're all widow sons. They're all probably Freemasons, like 80% of the law enforcement in this country. They're part of the program. They know what's going on here.
I can tell you that everything you see in Alex Jones' movies, his documentaries, is absolutely true.
Wow.
The statue of Moloch, there for you, right there for you to see.
Like to be next to evil things, and there's a lot of weird stories about that area, like, you know, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, whatever. So, and it's a dark place, so, you know, supposedly, they say it's some dark place. So I don't like being around that type of stuff. So I'm gonna go when the sun comes out and come home when the sun goes down.
Not planning on doing any walk-ins or jumping the fence?
No, just planning on videotaping something. Not even sure what I'm looking for. I just feel like
where they have the fireside chats, all that, the stages, everything that's there.
Dehumanization, power being taken out of the decision process and being minimized, coming out of
It's easy to say, which side are you on? Over and over again. Comes out of West Virginia, miners movement.
I just feel like the spirit, you know, I just want to go see for myself.
Right. Well, no, that's good. You know, and with that said, I think a lot of Americans need to go see what's going on. Everyone's been lied to about it. You know, what do they say? It's it's just a country club, and they go out there and run around in the woods naked playing slap ass.
On Bohemian Grove.
So you've seen this?
Yes.
Wow.
I've ridden on those little tram things that you take up.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I can tell you, it's all true.
Is it pretty wild out there? You think,
Yes,
or
it
what?
has a very, very negative energy.
Really?
I would never,
That's what I get.
You couldn't pay me $1 million to go back in the Bohemian
Really?
Grove.
Wow.
I won't go inside.
Even though the cremation of care is a symbolic sacrifice, we know that they actually do get their money and power from real killing sacrifice. 1 million dead Iraqis. Yeah. Yep.
It's all being shut down by design, as the corporate media tells us. It's our debt, and we need to pay more taxes for austerity.
You know, it's a little bit more than that. Richard Nixon said it was the most faggiest place that he's ever seen. Something along those lines. And again, I'm not trying to bash homosexuals and nothing like that. These are words that he said. A lot of people say there's a lot of gay stuff that happens there. Supposedly they fly in the top-notch gay male prostitutes and have these, you know, huge summer orgies where you have the world's elite top businessmen, politicians, even the president of the United States and heads of other governments attending this mass orgy of sacrifice, where, you know, they have the sacrifice called the cremation of care, where they sacrifice a effigy of a child. It's also alleged that they actually sacrifice real people, but the official story says that it's just an effigy of a human child, and they burn it for the sacrifice to the god Molech, or Moloch, or...
No amount of taxes or tickets or money or fines will ever pay off the debt, because it was made to be so big. The derivatives are predominantly 1.5 quadrillion worldwide, 644 trillion over Washington bucks.
Something I can slice.
Then there's no way to ever pay it back. Services to avoid bankruptcy. For some, it's
Main Street 9925. What's the address?
itself in receivership of foreign banks, where they openly announce
What importance do you think the Grove plays, I mean, overall in starting these wars? It's sort of a warmonger haven, isn't it?
in the country. Oh, we got a new
Bohemian
we got new squad cars. We got this.
It's a big part in, I know they discuss these geopolitical strategies and how do we profit off of other people's misery, and that's exactly what's happening, whether they're bankers or war profiteers or Monsanto executives or whatever, they're profiting off of people's misery. And the thing is we're not putting our foot down, we're putting our feet down and saying no more, no way. You know, and that's what we have to do.
Hey, we're going to come in.
9925. Yeah, you just passed it.
or Moloch, or
Did you hear
Molech,
that
Baphomet.
there was a body found in the Russian River a couple of days ago?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So is
I guess the
a little bit of
person
background on
drowned.
that.
I don't know. They're not saying much yet, but it was a person like I think she was 33. I think, I'm not sure, but it's, you know, that's kind of weird. But I guess she was there for like a couple days or something.
We're at the Grove or in the river.
In the river, she was drowned.
Well, yeah, the river is right there by the Grove, though.
Yeah, I know.
So that's.
I don't know how close it was to the Grove, but you know, there you go.
Right. So
there's your human sacrifice.
Right. So that's
in
what
the
they.
public review.
Yeah. So that's what they call Bilderberg West. Anthony Hilder calls it Bilderberg West. So.
And he's gonna be there next Saturday probably, right? I mean,
more than
it
likely.
sounds like there's a bunch of people going.
Right. More than likely, he's gonna be there.
How to take on militias. This is the public. PR, camels nose, dragons nose, under the tent flap.
Thank you, Jake Scott.
I mean, it's gonna be a circus, I guess you can say. Yeah, it usually is. It usually is. Where there's just so many different types of people. I mean, not a circus in a bad way. Just this gathering of so many different types of people. It's kind of like you got your liberals, you got your conservatives, you got your moderates, you got your conspiracy guys, you got your alien guys, you got your spiritual people, you got your hardcore fundamentalist religion people, and just this giant mix of everyone trying to fight evil, which is, in I guess in the bigger picture, it's a good thing. You know, it's kind of a bad thing that there's certain type of New World Order wannabes that, you know, are out there doing their New Ager stuff, but who am I to judge? You know, who am I to judge?
Sure.
that we are
If you
dealing
pull up right behind, should be good.
as a society.
In a shaded spot, too.
And the implosion worldwide is accelerating.
Bohemian Grove,
By
dude.
design, I'm going to give you economic news.
10 years ago, there was a sprinkle of people there. Now, it's turning into a party. You know, it's turning into a big party. You know, turn it into the anti-Bohemian Grove party. You know, you can call it what you want it. The new tea party of the 21st century. You know, and the New World Order party. You know,
In the new.
but everyone's working together. You know, in the big picture again. Everyone has their own method, and everyone talks about their own different solution and all this stuff.
Everybody has to figure it out.
But in order for anything to change, we need to
gotta
topple
work
the thing called the New World Order,
Right.
and that's where it starts. So once that happens, you know, we could argue at the end, but let the chips fall as they may, like they say. We just gotta keep pushing this this beast off the edge of the cliff, and if there's enough of us doing it, you know, we'll see the Bilderberg meeting, the Bohemian Grove meetings, all these secret meetings end up in the mainstream media.
I hope so. I really hope so.
So we're here. We made it.
Made it here.
About time.
I'm sorry, it's only 2 hours away from the Bay Area, so
I think in
you know, if you live in the Bay, you're literally two and a half, 3 hours away. It's near Napa, so it's like driving to Napa plus an extra, you know, couple minutes, hours, whatever, whatnot.
and it's
depending
right
on
on
the
the
route.
coast too.
No, it's inland.
Right on the
It's
bay.
in
Well, I mean,
it's in Sonoma.
in Monte Rio, which is like that's where it's pretty close to that area.
You ready? Have any plans for the Grove?
I
here?
don't know yet.
Yeah?
I don't know what to do yet.
Just gonna play it by ear. Huh?
Yeah.
Let the spirit guide you.
Let it be what it be.
That's right.
You know, well, shoot, might as well just go up there with some friends. So if that's something you want to do, you know, people talk about party buses and renting a van and things like that just to get out there. I mean, it's a good thing to do.
It's
You know, and if you want to have a good time right after the protest, you know, there's a lot of places nearby to go. I mean, you got Napa.
There's a lot of good places. Right
You know,
there.
go have some wine and celebrate after in Napa. You know, why not? Shit, it's our state. You know, enjoy it. Fuck.
I wonder how far the thing is from here too.
Yeah, we have this thing called freedom. You know, a lot of people don't like using it. They just rather stay home.
It's too bad.
But if they get out, I'm telling you, if you get out there, you're minutes away, not even that far away from Napa and all these, you know, beautiful places. And you know, it's California at its finest.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, they're singing it up out there.
They sure are.
You have your keys?
Stand out there with signs and try to get some footage of the elite going in there. Hopefully they'll catch Obama, maybe some top-level government officials as well, maybe some foreign government officials. But hey, they usually have the limos with the black windows. You can't see inside them, you know. But sometimes they get brave and they just show up.
Okay. So we'll see.
Watch out for the crap. May not watch out for that.
They cannot hit a man with a cane.
I don't know. It's California.
It's true.
May run me over to take the cane.
Is that the Russian River?
Left of it.
Just a little friendly hello.
And if you stay in some of the local places, who knows? You might even meet one. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's right. You might run into them at a bar or
We were
at a motel.
actually looking up this one place that's close by there, and they didn't recommend children. They said, you know, most of their things are like 2-seater things or whatever, and it was just all like they really didn't want children there or anything. I thought that was kind of weird.
Maybe they're warning people that the Bohemian Grovers are gonna kidnap your kid, and you shouldn't bring your kids.
Don't bring your kids here.
You know,
Children
bad
not
idea.
recommended.
Yeah, child
Especially
sacrifice
right now.
go on here.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a picture in the National Geographic. I think it was like 1897 or some date, early turn century type deal, where there's a black child laying on this like gurney type deal, and the Grovers are carrying him in. So yeah, it's pretty creepy.
That is
It's pretty
disgusting.
Creepy. Oh, totally disgusting. It's
why would they take a picture of that, first of all?
the arrogance. The arrogance. They think they could get away with murder, which they have been for, you know, shit, almost a century now. Maybe even longer. I mean, people talk about the Illuminati existing for thousands of years.
Yeah, well.
So if they've been doing it for that long, they're pretty damn arrogant, if you ask me. I mean, they're taking pictures of this shit.
Yeah.
Highway El Bohemia. Oh, this one too.
You gotta let me know. The whole world is watching. Assume it's on all the time.
They're taking pictures of this shit.
Yeah.
So guilty by association. You know, they take those pictures at their grove of a child, you know, prepared to be sacrificed. And,
weird. That's creepy. It's
you
really,
know, all
really
these
creepy.
people dancing around in druid outfits,
Yeah.
you know, looking like monks or whatnot, druids.
Weaving
and all this
spiders
weird
coming
thing.
out here. Some
Yeah.
weird stuff.
Yep. So we'll see where it takes us. I mean, I highly doubt Fox or CNN's gonna cover it. I'm pretty sure the independent media is gonna be all over it. We're all over it. You are the media. We are the media. Getting the word out yourself is a million times more powerful than Fox and CNN. Don't let that fool you.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people think that Fox and CNN are this powerhouse of information, but people ain't buying it.
No.
They're listening to their fellow brothers and sisters and people like us and people like you. So don't be afraid to get the word out.
Yeah. Don't be afraid. We all got to talk about these things.
Most normal people go summer camping with their family, but why is it that these elitists need to go camping with each other?
We're paying for it. We're paying for these people to be protected. And we have to resent that. We have to call them out. And the cops should be here protecting us from them. We need to be protected from them. They don't need to be protected from us.
9925. Listen to the music. That's where we're going.
This is my
cool.
my favorite protest sign. My beer gut.
We're not gonna take them peaceful. No, we ain't gonna take it. We gotta be good to each other. We're not gonna take it anymore. We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. No. We're not gonna take it anymore.
It's gonna be an all-day event, so get out there, get your signs, get your bullhorns, get your cameras, video cameras, everything.
Elite Illuminati rulers do it and rebel in the back. And they're sacrificing real people for their money overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan, all around the world. You are real Satanists, you scum trash.
You're a concerned citizen?
Yes.
And you have a nice shirt here that we see. Don't tread on me. Is there any particular reason why you wore that, knowing that we're going to the Grove? Is the snake? Is there any symbolism there, or what's the deal?
Well, I just wanted to make a statement when I'm coming out here. I know there's a lot of people with Occupy, and I think that Occupy is halfway there. They kind of have half the story, but they don't have the other half of the story. And that's what this shirt is about.
Right on.
Is getting that out to those people.
But you're gonna march with us.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there in March. And yeah.
So we're going right or left?
Following them.
Yeah, we're just...
We're making a right turn. Make a right turn.
Hope you know where we're going.
Don't go left. Go right.
Not politically. Not politically.
Far right.
Far right. Don't go too far right.
All right.
Wait, hey, sir.
Do you have any words for the people who are going to the Grove, the people who have never heard of the Grove, and the people who are thinking about becoming members?
Well, the people that are going to the Grove, you're going down. Okay? It's just a matter of time. Sooner or later, it's going to catch up with you. The people that are thinking about going to the Grove, don't do it, because you have to sell your soul to the devil in order to do it. So if you want to be a Satanist, you want to go up there to the Grove and do your little Satanist thing, then that's your prerogative, but it's going to bring you down.
What about the members?
The members
of the Bohemian Club, yes.
Basically, they're treasonous. You can't go up to the Bohemian Grove and talk about the things they're talking about. That's against the law. It's against the Logan Act, as it's been pointed out.
What's going on up here?
I know. Look at that.
They came dressed for a riot.
Really? What's wrong with these guys? We're peaceful.
What do you think about the Grove, sir? Is it a fun place during the summer? Good swimming, good fishing. A lot of brown trout out here, salmon, Chinook.
I think I'm on the guest list. Mark Day, I'm on the guest list.
I was told that we couldn't go in the street because they don't want anybody to get hurt. My response was, people get hurt every day because of those people up at the Bohemian Grove.
Right!
They should be protecting us from them, not them from us. We don't have any riot gear. We don't have any guns. We don't have any helmets. We come in peace, but they don't come in peace. Sorry. I was going to go like...
Which side are you on, officers?
Sorry, guys, but World Revolution has all been quite uncomfortable.
Which side?
Thanks for asking that. It's okay for those people to kill millions of people, start wars, torture, profit off of these things. We're here as peaceful, non-violent protesters.
Will all assigned detainees please come up to the front line?
Okay, this is not the property of the Bohemian Grove. We're going to walk to the gate of the Bohemian Grove. Who's with us? Let's go.
Protect the person behind you. Protect the person behind you.
Star Wars! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Who's Darth Vader on all you ass clowns? Who's Darth Vader? Who's Darth Vader?
Why did Senator John DeCamp say that in the 1980s that boys were sexually abused and shot child porn in the Bohemian Grove? That's not an internet rumor. That's a former Senator John DeCamp said that Paul Bonanzi and other children were taken into the Grove in the 1980s and
Get back.
Get back. Get back here. Get back.
All right, step back. Behind the line. We'll be arrested.
We're behind the line.
Yes. Please join Oath Keepers who do not confiscate our weapons and their
Tony, real tough guy.
You need to step back.
Real tough guy, Tony.
You will be arrested.
Tony, you real tough
Step
guy.
back or you will be arrested. I'm asking you to step
Hey.
back.
That's a senior citizen. Hey, come on. That's a senior citizen. You outweigh him by 100. He's a senior citizen. Leave him alone.
Yeah, real tough guys. Real tough guys.
Let Grandpa know!
Real tough guys. I hope you got that on film. I hope you got that on film. Sure you did. Sure you did. I'm sure you did. That's why I was pointing that way.
You worship an ancient entity known as care. You guys are sacrificing all of your worries and guilt to the world, and these people inside here know that they are committing mass murder all over the world, and they are sacrificing their cares in an actual ritual. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves, and you guys should be ashamed of yourselves.
They're gonna try to move us back.
Then why did Ronald Reagan and President Nixon come to an agreement as to who would run for president when? And why was the atomic bomb helped to launch in here? And why was the United Nations conceived at the Groves Clubhouse? If this is just a vacation spot, why are these guys choosing who the elite's going to back for president?
Mark, let me answer your question. Mark, let me answer that question right on there.
The answer to your question is why do they meet together even though their motto is weaving spiders come not here, is the fact that it gives us a great indication on the personalities of our ruling elites. If they say don't come here and make secret deals, but yet they're doing those so anyways, what does that tell us about them? What does it tell us?
These people back there that you're guarding are responsible for murder. They murdered my own son.
You guys sacrificed Cindy's son, you scumbags!
Are you proud of roughing up an old man?
What does that say when the only person arrested so far was a senior citizen who could have had his arm broken or shoulder dislocated from the police for daring to just step over the police line? What a dangerous senior citizen he was, daring to step over the police line as a senior citizen. That you should have slammed him down to the concrete, broken some teeth out.
These police need to calm
That was Doug Millar, senior citizen, abused by the police for daring to step over the line. What an evil terrorist that senior citizen Doug Millar was.
These police need to be
He was passing out flyers.
proud of peaceful people. They hire people who are
Have a good cremation of 4%. The Illuminati ruling class. The warmongering scum. The super class ruling elite. The Luciferian satanic human sacrifice reenacting trash. If my neighbor was participating in a mock human sacrifice like the cremation of care, I would probably call the police. I would want them to leave my neighborhood. I would round up my neighbors and I would round them up and get them to move. But yet our elite Illuminati rulers do it and revel in the fact. And they're sacrificing real people for their money overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan, all around the world. You are real Satanists, you scum trash. Marry damn kids. Don't you care about your own kids and your oon family?
They don't
Look at the wedding ring on your hand.
They don't know. They don't know about the technology. They don't know about smart meters. They have families too. They don't know the vaccines are hurting their children.
We went to the same schools as you did, officers. We're just like you. You're us. We're you. You're us. We're all the same.
destruction. They're using your car as a lethal weapon, and you was broken of your train.
Name, officer. We're all American citizens. And for you to defend and protect the Illuminati elite is wrong. You have an oath. You swore an oath to defend and protect this nation from tyrants, foreign and domestic. Do your job, officer. Follow your oath.
Doug, the 75-year-old senior citizen you abused. You are a little penis. You suck ass. You guys all have brown lips. They all have brown lips. Got your number. Almost got rid of it.
That's so cute.
Let me go.
What kind of crime?
Oh my God, that guy.
You know what they're talking about?
I'm always sitting behind you. William, be a bigger man. Are you charged? Are you charged?
In there, but there's also a sisterhood and brotherhood taking place out here.
You have the biggest heart. I can tell.
Everybody should be concerned. Not only are they discussing policies that are going to affect not only Americans in this great country, but also around the world. They are killing people, but also they do a real ritualistic sacrifice of care. They are sacrificing all their cares, concerns, and guilt for killing people. They say it doesn't matter because the brotherhood is bigger than all those things.
You feel it. I can tell by the way you're shaking your knees and the way that your chest is moving when you breathe it. I can tell.
You know what I'm talking about. You're probably part of the program. It's all right. You can turn your back. Turn around now. It's never too late. It's never too late. Arrest your leaders. They would love to sacrifice your children.
Consent with the vaccine. We are concerned about what's going on in the chips put in our system.
Mainstream media hasn't covered the sacrifices being performed at this grove here. It is your duty, officer, to investigate a crime against humanity. And you are defending crimes against humanity by standing at these gates. We are here to expose the evil men that participate in the rituals and the sacrifice to Moloch.
Every time the president goes on the campaign at Martha's Vineyard, it's all international news. Everybody knows about it. Look at those same world leaders meet within the Bohemian Grove. Why is that? Because these people are on the board of directors.
Bohemian Grove workers, be careful. Don't let the Bohemian Grove's men rape you.
Why can't you see me? I'm right in front of you. Also, they sacrifice their guilt. They also say that it doesn't matter. We can actually sacrifice them. All our concerns about the world, all of our murders for those around the world. The people building are the real criminals. They're the ones we need to be talking to. They're the ones that accept this campaign financing from these giant corporations.
Because the brotherhood is bigger than all those things.
This is what
This is very troublesome. This is very disturbing.
right. That's okay. This is what it looks like. And he knows. Most of the people are not into
Look at me, John. There's brave men here protecting a bunch of cowards.
Thank you for keeping it peaceful.
So look, what would happen if we outnumber these guys and actually make a push for it? What would they actually do?
They're chipping your children, gentlemen. All of us are being chipped with nanotechnology. It causes cancer.
Taser?
They can beam their electrical.
No badge. But he has no badge.
I know, hey, how come you're not showing your badge?
What's your badge?
Steal some
No badge, you're not obligated to show your badge?
We leak it to the internet, girls.
What's your badge?
Make some programs. They're in on it.
The elite are going to be social Darwinistic, ruthless, evil, satanic scum, just like the Nazis. You know, out there rituals and dressed up in cornrows, in black robes and had black masks.
if you had a message for the Bohemian Grove scumbags, what would it be?
We're after you. We're on to you. And we're not going to let you do it one more time. You know, that this country, this world doesn't belong to you. It belongs to us. And you've had enough time to destroy it. We're here to rebuild it. And your days are numbered.
Take me with you.
And the Fed.
Done a little bit of history on this.
It was a little weird that they had riot people out there. I thought that was kind of strange.
And they were dressed for full riot gear.
They were.
And they were prepared.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Who's Darth Vader on all you ass clowns? Who's Darth Vader? Who's Darth Vader?
Welcome, I'm Walter Bradley, and I'm here with Greg Fernandez and Manny, and we are Change East Bay News. July 14th, 2012, at Bohemian Grove, we had an incident, and we express our sorrow to Doug Millar.
Love you, Doug.
What happened, Doug? Well, we understand that officers explained a little instruction.
Let's let people see the clip.
Okay, we have the clip of that.
Why don't you watch this clip?
Yes, watch the clip.
And then we'll be back with a little bit of
a little comment on it on there. So here's the clip with Doug Millar at Bohemian Grove, July 14th, 2012, at a protest that we were attending.
Protect the person behind you.
Okay, have it you.
One arms.
Star Wars. Are you kidding me? Who's Darth Vader on all you ass clowns? Who's Darth Vader? Who's Darth Vader?
Wait, okay.
Get back here.
Step back.
We're behind the line.
Please join Oakley first if you're not confiscate our weapons and
Tony, real tough guy.
you need to step back.
Real tough guy, Tony.
You will be arrested.
Tony, you real tough guy.
You will be arrested. I'm asking you to step
Hey!
back.
That's a senior citizen! Hey, come on! That's a senior citizen!
Look at the clip, but even if an officer pushes you, that's to move you back. He's not trying to hurt you. He's saying step back. You're going beyond where he's told you to stay. And if you push him, that's assaulting a peace officer, and meaning that you want to go against him and go over the line.
Step back or you will be arrested. I'm asking you to step.
Hey! Back. That's a senior citizen. Hey, come on. That's a senior citizen. You outweigh him by 100. He's a senior citizen. Leave him alone. Keep those cameras at home. Yeah, real tough guys. Real tough guys.
Let Grandpa know!
Sergeant Williams, real tough guys. I hope you got that on film. I hope you got that on film. Sure you did. Really cool. Sure you did. I'm sure you did. That's why I was pointing that way. Yeah, you bitch.
You realize who you're protecting?
Yeah.
People here just don't want the death that comes out of there, the war, the global warming from industrialization.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Cindy Sheehan was really good.
She's very vocal. She has a
I think
lot
you noticed
to
that.
say. Yes, but
she has a right point. She has a point to make, and she made it starting with George W. Bush back on the ranch back in Texas. He lived not far from me.
That is activism. That is hardcore activism. And what you just saw and what you're going to see later on from the people that showed up at the Grove, that is activism. Most of the people were peaceful. Most of the people went there for their own reasons. There were many different types of people there. I thought it was a great turnout. I thought there was a lot of great minds there, a lot of great different people with different views.
Let's walk down there deep. There he is, the director. Director. Let's walk down to the gate. Please join oathkeepers who do not confiscate our weapons and the
Look at what happened. So, Greg, what was your imprint of this? When you saw it, you got it. So you were the one that was filming this. What was your impression? Was Doug in the wrong? Were the police, the sheriff's deputies wrong? What was going on?
Well, I definitely don't think that they should have took him to jail.
Why not? What was the issue?
Well, the issue with me is, you know, I didn't think that what he did was violent. But you know, you can't.
He did do something. What did he do?
Well, you can't put your hands on an officer of the law.
That's what he did?
That's the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Now, people,
so
I disagree with that.
What they told us was that there was a line that you couldn't cross, and they kept telling Doug, you know, like you saw on the clip,
stop,
you know,
stop, step back,
and he didn't.
And then he pushed an officer.
Well, the officer pushed him first.
Move back! Move back! Move back! Move back! Real tough guy. Halt! Tony, real tough guy. Sir, you need to step back. Real tough guy, Tony. Be arrested. Tony, you will be arrested. Tony, you real tough guy. You will be arrested. I'm asking you to step. Hey!
If you put your hands on an officer, that's the wrong thing to do, because that gives them the right to come at you. And it's their right to protect themselves and to keep a line like they were doing. Now, do I agree with all of that? Maybe I don't. But the point is, I wouldn't have been doing that, and if the officer get back or I'm going to, I'd say, yes, sir, back I go.
Yeah, there was a clear line. There was a clear line where you did not cross, where nobody should have crossed. And anybody that crossed that...
and we were warned. It wasn't like he didn't know.
He was the only one that crossed it, and he was the only one that got taken away. So I just don't agree with excessive force. I don't agree with the use of hitting a senior citizen, hitting somebody that old. Not say that he's old or he's weak or anything, because he's not. He's a strong guy. I mean, because he pushed back hard. So he's not, you know, he's not.
That changes the dynamics a lot.
Well, when you get pushed, you know, you often push back. So,
yes. But there's a point where you respect. It's a matter of respect.
You people saw the video. Was it a respectful push from a protester's point? I'll let
you the thing about it, the officer that's pushing has a right to push you back if you cross the line.
Do you have a right
to push? It may seem sharp, but you know, it's not your right to push back an officer who is defending a right and a position of another citizen. this is the object in view.
But it is
because
a
if
street,
the police
right? I mean,
are protecting us in doing that, we'd say, "Oh, thank you, you protected us." See, there's that flip
But isn't
side
that
we have to look at.
our street? I mean, why are they blocking the street? The other thing that you notice.
There was some private property.
Was it
that private line? That line was private property.
Well, then I would make sure that we're not paying for the Bohemian Grove Street past that point. Then you can pay for their own.
The thing about it is, when you have private property, if you're private property and the police manhandle somebody who's trying to cross that line and you want them out. If the police aren't there and you're standing there with your shotgun when they're rioting, you're going to push some people. And you got to think
anybody ever.
If they're coming onto your property and your wife is on there and your safety's in danger,
if they're coming
there
onto
you go.
your property,
That's my point.
But nobody.
And I'm not trying to say that this
nobody
is right,
was.
but we have to think of it from that perspective sometime to get a clear thought. Sure. That's all. And I may agree with you on all those other points. But however, I stand with the officer in the fact that when they're tasked to do a job and say, keep them off the private sector, and it's their legal right to do so, and it's the legal right of the people who own it, whether we disagree or agree with their politics, to have a safe area. Howbeit, we do know that they overstep boundaries.
Well, we're not.
And this is something that I want to bring up.
Yeah, because
they
we're not
overstep
dealing
boundaries.
with just a bunch of people who are just hanging out.
Well,
That's the whole thing
we're dealing with some treasonous people.
Sick,
and no, it's not just sick. It's treasonous, and in some cases murderous, I think. And they've authorized murder of children since '73 as sacrifice. These are innocent children.
It's ridiculous.
And that's innocent children, and calling them, to where they're pretty soon in Australia, they're saying live birth abortion. What? You're crazy. Because that's going to load up your blood and it's going to bring judgment. But the thing about it is, you can't do that, but you do it. You go where evil angels don't fear to tread, that's for sure. But the righteous ones who know who the Father is and what is coming, they don't. And anybody that sits there and thinks you can trifle with life and the human makeup and DNA and not caring for the weak and favoring the rich and the important and the powerful just because they have the power and the money and the effectual ability to do things, and you don't protect the innocent and the weak, the Father has no use for that, and He will judge. And then everybody cries and complains when a big earthquake comes in, oh, these innocent people. Well, it's because you have shed innocent blood, and He has to atone for that, and you're guilty. So don't lift up your hand to the Father and say, why have you done this? It is we who have done it. We. Welcome, this is Walter Bradley and Greg Fernandez. We are Change East Bay News, and we saw Cindy Sheehan at Bohemian Grove July 14th. And she had some stuff to say.
Oh, yes, she did.
And we have some clips for you so you can see Cindy Sheehan speaking her mind. Watch this on We Are Change, East Bay News.
Go, Cindy, go.
Yes. Stand up, Cindy.
Loren was just in Fukushima. I mean, the Manhattan Project was conceived out there.
Yes.
You know, so fuck them. Just fuck them all. to fucking hell. That's
Every day.
I was told that we couldn't go in the street because they don't want anybody to get hurt. My response was, people get hurt every day because of those people up at the Bohemian Grove.
Right!
They should be protecting us from them, not them from us. We don't have any riot gear.
Right!
We don't have any guns. We don't have any helmets. We come in peace, but they don't come in peace. Sorry. I was going to go like
Which side are you on, officers?
Sorry guys, the World Revolution has all been quite uncomfortable.
Thanks for asking, though.
However, these are just the birth pains of the new movement.
It's okay for those people to kill millions of people, start wars, torture, profit off of these things. We're here as peaceful, non-violent protesters.
Right!
They come out at us using people that we pay their salaries, coming out in riot gear to oppress and suppress our rights to protest.
Yeah, what's up with that?
This property does not belong to the Bohemian Grove. It belongs to the people. It belongs to the Pomo. The police work for us.
Supposed to.
We pay their salaries. They shouldn't be protecting the 1%.
The Illuminati ruling class, the warmongering scum, the superclass ruling elite, the Luciferian satanic human sacrifice reenacting trash.
I hope you enjoyed that clip. From
Yes,
Cindy,
indeed.
Cindy
Welcome back.
Sheehan.
Cindy Sheehan was really
She's
good. wasn't
very
she?
vocal. She has a
I think
lot
you noticed
to
that.
say. Yes, but
But she has a
she's
right point. She has a point to make, and she made it starting with George W. Bush back on the ranch back in Texas. He lived not far from
That
me.
is activism. That is hardcore activism. And what you just saw and what you're going to see later on from the people that showed up at the Grove, that is activism. Most of the people were peaceful. Most of the people went there for their own reasons. There were many different types of people there. I thought it was a great turnout. I thought there was a lot of great minds there, a lot of great different people with different views.
Don't pay taxes.
You guys are doing.
Yeah, that's a good question. We pay a lot of taxes.
What does that say when the only person arrested so far was a senior citizen who could have had his arm broken or shoulder dislocated from the police for daring to just step over the police line? What a dangerous senior citizen he was, daring to step over the police line as a senior citizen. That you should have slammed him down to the concrete and broken some teeth out.
These police need to calm
That was Doug Millar, senior citizen, abused by the police for daring to step over the line. What an evil terrorist that senior citizen Doug Millar was.
These police need to de-escalate.
He was passing out flyers.
Crowd of peaceful people.
Please refer to them as their proper title, the small penis officer, the small penis riot gear officers, the compensating small penis riot gear wearing officers.
I'll give one of you guys $20 if you hit Paul Pelosi with one of those sticks in the head. $20.
We know that cremation of care is a symbolic sacrifice. We know that they actually do get their money and power from real killing sacrifice. 1 million dead Iraqis.
My own son.
Yeah. Yep.
You may disagree with some of her points, or maybe you disagree with her altogether. But it's good to listen to what she has gone through. She
Check it
lost a
out.
son,
Yeah.
and she has a right to speak her mind. And let her...
These people back there that you're guarding are responsible for murder. They murdered my own son.
You guys sacrificed Cindy's son, you scumbags!
Are you proud of roughing up an old man?
One time, when I'll just call the one gentleman that was screaming, what if we were to gather together and overrun this line? That's a danger.
They're using a car as a lethal weapon, and you was broken
He might have been working for the government. Well, I don't
Possibly,
know who that guy was.
but he was stirring up.
It's not a good
And
idea.
even if he wasn't or was, the thing about it is, people within the movement need to spirit those guys away quick.
There's the tough guy. Tony. There's the tough guy. There he is. Hide in the corner. Right. Right. Hide in the corner, Tony. Hide in the corner, Tony. Yeah, right here, baby. Right here. You ain't no tough guy. You ain't even tough.
You know, you can't really do that though, because everybody's there. Everybody's free to say their own thing.
That's right, and it's also free to say, hey, guy, we're not doing it.
Nothing. Nothing.
Police force.
What is your point in provoking these individuals?
They're not doing anything. They don't
What's
know.
the point of grabbing that guy the way he did?
Behind the line.
Oh, Jaeger. Nice. Nice. You look like a young guy.
Some of the people there were definitely
Like anarchists stirring up
They
trouble.
just wanted violence. You know, they were saying things to the sheriff's deputies or to the cops.
Every time the president goes off to Camp David, Martha's Vineyard, it's all international news. Everybody knows about it. Look at those same world leaders meet within the
We're Change East Bay News. This is Walter Bradley and Greg Fernandez. We saw who do we see now?
Mark Dice.
Mark Dice. Now, who is Mark Dice? For listeners who don't know.
Oh, check it out. You'll
All
see
right,
it.
we have a clip of Mark Dice at, where was this?
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove, July 14th, 2012. It was a wonderful time. It was well run, and we want to see more of you out there. Here is Mark Dice, and here's the clip you need to see. Stand
Why
by.
did Senator John DeCamp say that in the 1980s that boys were sexually abused and shot child porn in the Bohemian Grove? That's not an internet rumor. That's a former senator. John DeCamp said that Paul Bonacci and other children were taken into the Grove in the 1980s and sexually abused and shot child porn by one of the groups in here.
Hello, this is We Are Change East Bay News with Greg Fernandez. I'm Walter Bradley, and we have Mark Dice. Not March Dice, but Mark Dice. You need to see him. Why? Because he's concerned about the truth and challenging the New World Order. And does he challenge your New World Order? Well, let's look and see, because here's the clip with Mark Dice.
Mark Dice, man, the guy that helped me wake up.
He woke up Greg, and I'm glad of that, Mark. Thanks a lot.
They're in on it. The elite are going to be social Darwinistic, ruthless, evil, satanic scum, just like the Nazis. You know, outfit rituals and dressed up in colored robes, in black robes and had black magic rituals. The Nazis did that. The Nazis believe in black magic and occult power, just like the elite Illuminati today.
Check out this clip with Mark Dice.
That's true. And don't roll the dice. Listen.
Then why did Ronald Reagan and President Nixon come to an agreement as to who would run for president when? And why was the atomic atomic bomb helped to launch in here? Why was the United Nations conceived at the Grove's Clubhouse? If this is just a vacation spot, why are these guys choosing who the elite's going to back for president?
Mark, let me answer your question. Mark, let me answer that question right there.
The answer to your question is why do they meet together even though their motto is weaving spiders not come not here, is the fact that it gives us a great indication on the personalities of our ruling elites. If they say don't come here and make secret deals, but yet they're doing those so anyways, what does that tell us about them? What does it tell us?
One time.
If my neighbor was participating in a mock human sacrifice like the cremation of care, I would probably call the police. I would want them to leave my neighborhood. I would round up my neighbors and I would round them up and get them to move. But yet our elite Illuminati rulers do it and revel in the fact. And they're sacrificing real people for that money overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan, all around the world. You are real Satanists, you scum trash!
They hire people who are
Have a good cremation of care. Don't be shy. Occupy.
The Bohemian Grove, 2012.
Now, as a believer in the Bible, in the Word of the Almighty, I know I am to comply with the government till it crosses the line into the place of trying to be the great creator or tell me something that's contrary. The minute you do that, I don't have to listen to you anymore. I don't care who you are. You can be the president, you can be the one world ruler, you could be the devil himself. It doesn't matter. He stands and you fall before him. That's the fact. And I cannot bow before you when I'm told not to. So, problem is when you try to replace the creator with yourself, you better think about that very seriously, because you're stepping into the ground that Satan did and was cast down for. He is not the power. Yes, he has power, and he is to be feared, not as the Father, but as a able creature who is intelligent and has power.
Like there's something missing, you know? I don't know. Like the whole owl, everything is about that owl. Where did the Moloch? What did the Moloch and the owl? The only thing they have in common is that, you know, people are being burned for them, I guess. But
if you're gonna make a point, you have to have a sharp sword and know how to use it. Some people there were totally unarmed, though they had the sword in hand. A real skillful person doesn't have to say much or do much. If you look at John F. Kennedy, he knew how to word things. He came out to an angry mob and calmed them down because he knew how to talk. I didn't see much of that today. Do you see anybody talking like John F. Kennedy or his brother Jack? I didn't see that today. Wake up. That's not going to happen if you're acting like a fool. You're not going to get your message out. And what I saw today was our message was clouded with a bunch of screaming. Okay, now it's important to get your message out. Sometimes you have to do a little vociferous, strong talk, but not scream and insult people. I don't buy it. I won't buy it. I don't buy it, and I won't sell it. Don't try to sell it to me, and don't try to sell it to people. Try to bring them in your cause with that.
But found is that their lakeside chats or whatever, that's really like, and that's where they're making speeches that further their future, and yet they're saying that nothing happens there.
I wanted to say it's important to understand your issues and understand what protests are for and what we're doing. We're trying to highlight it for those who are in power so that they see the numbers. It's not what you say, it's being present. And we need more of you out there if you're really concerned. And you should be. And one of the concerns you should have in your mind is that we are heading towards a government state in which they will control your everyday life, down to the bed linens you put on, down to where your children go, where you cannot go, and why. Checkpoints and checking you out to make sure you are within your zone and not going to another zone or a place they don't want you. Of course, this is controlled somewhat now, and we know this. However, be aware that government control is about one thing: making you believe it is necessary. And that's one of their tools. Sometimes it's a false flag. Sometimes they take an incident which was totally outside of their perusal or doing and using it to fit into their plan. Now, you must not ever feed them that which will be usable to them to illustrate and bring about their plan. And that's to orchestrate one world government. You know, going out and doing anarchist things or stirring up trouble only feeds fuel to the fire. You need to get with the issues, not start anarchist moments and start attacking businesses that really, and all in all, really are not in support of this. They're just trying to make a living like you. So, you know, it's not about fighting the police. The police are not the problem. It's not the military that is the problem, like was illustrated in the war in Vietnam. Sometimes they were spitting at the soldiers and everything, and that was a misdirected anger. And really, I find that offensive.
I'm even kind of backpedaling, just, you know, kind of, on the owl and Moloch thing, whether they're the same thing. You know, I mean, they pretty much do the same thing, but I don't know if that giant owl that they're worshiping I don't know if they associate that with Moloch. I mean,
Yeah, they don't. They actually Moloch is supposed to be a bull, and that's been one of my criticisms. Like, why the hell is Alex Jones showing, you know, like that owl saying it's Moloch? I
mean, the only tie is that they both do the same thing. So, you know, they're both being worshipped, and you know, they're both burning people. They're both sacrificing people. So it does seem like either it's carefully veiled, you know, because you really have to like jump levels to really come to that. And so I need to articulate that for myself more, because there's just not a strong tie that I can find. But then, I don't know, I just go back and forth.
To you people who are working and building this new world order, which will end with the true world order, which will overthrow you and cast you into the pit you came from, you better start thinking. No, I'm not challenging you, I'm telling you the truth. Because the Savior would have said, repent. Repent. Stop it, because you're wrong, you're in sin, and be sure your sin is going to find you out, and in the end it will destroy you and all you have, because your foundation is brittle and it's sand, and it will not stand, because you base it on man and this earth, and they've both been condemned, and they will not stand, because when it's all said and done, the only thing that'll be standing is the one who stands in the truth and stands for the truth. And the truth is a person, not a bunch of words, not a bunch of thoughts. It's not an ideal that you can break apart and, you know, find the God particle. You know, that's foolishness. Many of you scientists are learning that you don't know anything about the cosmos just recently. Things disappear without you knowing why. Things appear without you knowing why. Well, it's because the one who rules it doesn't bow to you and your science. and neither does your science explain the truth about all things. Things about Mars and about the moon. There are many things on the moon and Mars that we do know about that you think we don't. And it's been known for a long time. A lot of the astronauts are beginning to open up and tell the truth, even secretly and behind the scenes, and telling us the things that were really there. So we understand this, and even as a believer, I understand things better than you on what you're dealing with in things that you think you know, but you don't. For example, the ascended brothers are not ascended, they're descended. They are not from Zeta Reticuli. They may have traveled from there, but they're from here. They're earthbound, and they're demons, or they're servitors, and there's no way that you can get around that. The one problem is you think they're going to bring you technology and you trade off humanity and, sacrifice humanity for a few trinkets that don't make one bit of difference one way or the other, but empower you. Unfortunately for this, it really is depowering you and taking you out, because power is when you submit yourself to the Most High. That's power. And it's been shown time and again that the greatest power in earth is a humble servant of the Most High and living Elohim of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And it triumphs over national Israel, for they reject their own Savior. And it is a shame. But I am of the Nazarene, and I say, receive your Savior, Israel. Turn again to him that you rejected and through Pontius Pilate cast aside. For he is your king. He appeared to you on the mount and gave you your commandments and laws, which you rejected him and chose the law over salvation and grace. Bad choice. And many will see this. The New World Order will see bad choices made. But they're doing it because he's in control. And he is refining his people by using you for this very purpose. And unfortunately for you, if you are not turned, you will die in your sin and will be cast out. I pray shalom. No, let it not be. But we pray peace for you if it is able for you to be received. And if you are so named, let it be. But if not, know this, your day comes and he will laugh at your devices. They are nothing to him. Nothing. We're as nothing. This whole universe, this whole creation, and far beyond here belongs to him. And where are you? On this little piece of dust, moving around a little insignificant star. But it's where his focus is and his people. Be sure and know that he is coming again. Anathema Maranatha. Believe me, he comes. And you don't want to face him even if he's angry but a little, much less in the last day when he is coming to destroy.
They've said it themselves. So it just takes, people to actually find that and to actually take the time to look and see where these quotes are, where they are saying that they are making policy inside of the Bohemian Grove.
I mean, it's where we had the, the decision to drop the nuclear bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
They say Arnold Schwarzenegger was chosen there. Dick Cheney was chosen there to run with Bush Jr. That Bush Jr. was chosen.
And again, don't believe us. Look into the claims for yourself.
There's just a lot of proof to go along with that theory. There's a lot of proof, and you can't just say, oh, well, I'm just not gonna look at that. No, look at it and then see.
I laugh how people say theory when this is actually not theory. These are actual quotes and factual evidence of the elite clearly stating what they want.
Thing of what everybody thinks that they're doing there and all that is a theory, because we really don't know what each person there is doing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Indeed, but at the same time, there's also a lot of credible leaks that have came out of there that
there's more
cannot be denied, whether or not they want to confirm or disavow or say yes or no. I mean, that's a whole nother story, but...
Yeah, like David Gergen.
Well, yeah, all those guys. I mean, whenever they get confronted about it, they just, freak out.
Well, Richard Nixon had great things to say about the Grove, so...
Yeah, and what did he say? And I don't know, I'm not homophobic or anything. I actually, believe in freedom and liberty, so if you want to be gay, whatever. That's your choice. but at the same time, don't lie about it and
Is it a
go
choice,
to
or
a
is it-
place where people like Richard Nixon are quoted as saying, and again, this is not my words, but these are actually Nixon's words, where he called it the most faggiest place or something along those lines, places on the world, and you know, I mean, come on, this is president or former president of the United States, so
Right.
either he's bullshitting and just, you know, talking, or he's really actually describing what he felt about the place, and what he said he saw was a lot of homosexual activity. So it lends more evidence to the whole quote unquote conspiracy theory, when we all know that it's not really a theory, it's more along the lines of factual evidence coming out and the truth being brought into the daylight.
Don't be the dog that barks all the time. Be the effective dog that they like having next door. That's the kind of thing that gets the job done. Getting the job done is what this is about, not venting anger. There's a time for venting anger. It's once you got the culprits in the position where they're being under judgment, just like the killer that's caught that sat down after judgment, we come up and we go, look what you have done. That's the time to vent, not before. So get your ducks in a row, people. We need to do this, but we've got to do it right, and I'm tired of seeing a bunch of noise made, which people think they're doing something and they're really hurting the cause. Stop it. Get a brain. Doesn't mean you're stupid. I mean, start thinking instead of blinking and running and thinking it's just about yelling at people.
Peaceful protest. You're talking about the Grove. You know, it was pretty peaceful.
Right. Well, that.
What did you think of the band? Because there were some,
the
some
band.
people didn't like the band. I thought the band was cool.
The band, to me, traditionally speaking, going out to protests and things of that nature, bands are always a way to liven up the mood.
It is.
People don't like them, whatever. But
They're not there to challenge police officers or to cause a disruption or to damage property or to just scream at people who are the power of the Illuminati and call them bad names and call them silly names that sound like 12th grade on down. You know, you don't want to make yourself look like a 5th grader talking about things that are as important as the issues that we are talking about. Lift the bar, people. Then you're going to start getting some notice, and you're going to start winning people to your cause instead of driving them away.
What did you think about the Grove?
I think the Grove was a lot more intense than I thought it was going to be. At first, I thought it was going to be pretty mellow and small, but it turned out to be pretty big. It was a big turnout.
Some people were upset a little bit about how some of the people there were cussing and making a spectacle of themselves. How do you know whether this is something that is where somebody's just so passionate that they end up cussing, or somebody is sent there purposely to make an ass out of himself and they try to discredit the whole group?
I think there's potential for both. But we can't be naive and stupid to think that, no, they would never, you know, think to pull a false flag on us, the people. That's just, you know, plain stupid. You have to be willing to accept the fact that COINTELPRO still operates within this nation. There's thousands of pages for, you know, in regards to Operation Gladio. You can look into that as well, where the government hires and pays people to infiltrate and, you know, basically discredit groups and movements as a whole. We've seen it with the Tea Party, we've seen it with the Occupy movement, we've seen it with other patriot movements out there. But generally speaking, it's all divide and conquer infiltration. One of the main objectives of the COINTELPRO types is to demonize a group and make it look as if it's at war with other groups that it's actually not at war with in the first place.
Well, okay, talking about the Grove, did you, you know, when you got there, what did you think of the types of people that you saw there? I mean, what was it like marching with those people?
It was like a mixture. I guess you can say. Young, old, middle-aged, lower class, middle class, upper class. Anyone that knew about the Grove was there. It was pretty diverse, I guess you can say.
Hello, this is Walter Bradley with Heart Talk. I've had the privilege of going with Greg and Manny of We Are Change East Bay. And we had the opportunity to go to Bohemian Grove's meeting site where they're meeting for the next couple of weeks. This is a time in which a protest was organized. And I had the privilege of meeting, now who was the gentleman you were talking with, Greg?
Mark Dice.
Mark Dice. Hello, Mark. It is good that we saw you there, and we encourage you to spread the truth and the news. We also know that many We Are Change people were there. We are so glad that you were able to join us in this protest. Now, I'm going to put out my personal view on this in Heart Talk tonight, and it's not made to be a critique, but there's some things that I know that work well. One of the things that I really was not comfortable with are challenging or provoking officers. This is wrong. The officers are doing their job. They're not working for the Illuminati. They are called to the property to stand their ground and to protect those residents who are coming into that, whether they're Illuminati or whoever you want to assess them to be. They have a right to be there and to protect that property and the people who are driving through lawfully. And I stand with you officers in that. The gentleman that was provoking by saying, what if we all ganged up and rushed through this line? You know, I tell you that that's the worst thing you could have done in this protest. And it wouldn't have done us any good. We are not in a civil war where we're battling the lines, and you know, you don't, when you're going to a protest, you don't go to war. And when you go to war, you don't go to protest. Those are things that are true. So one of the things to understand is don't provoke an officer or disobey their commands, whatever they are. If they say, don't cross this line, don't cross that line. We're not there to provoke them. We're there to protest and talk about the issues that are important, not to create a side issue and make it look like they're trying to attack us. That's a lie, and I don't support that type of thing. However, when you are making a point and they do something, that's a different story, but you don't attack them. If they push you, you back off. They're just saying, move out of the way, step back. Now, you don't want to provoke them in that, or throw them the finger, or spit at them, or do anything that would add angst to their already nervous condition when they're dealing with a crowd. Because it's a herd mentality. If one officer feels threatened and goes, they're all going to work together. They're all to stand by each other. And then you've defeated your purpose and made it a melee. You're not there to melee at all, unless you're prepared to do that and you come to melee, and that's not what a protest is for. So as a member of Heart Talk, I commend the officers there that did such, I think, a wonderful job of maintaining order without breaking out on us, when in one case somebody tried to push you into that. When somebody threatens something of that nature, you had the right to take charge and get the crowd moving. And I am thankful that you used restraint. It shows great understanding on your part. And there was one arrest, which as I see was justified. We have to concede those things, and sometimes those things come about due to bad decisions or a bad way. And to Doug, we didn't wish that on you, but if they say don't cross the line, I think we should obey that.
Never a moment where I thought it was a waste of time. Every moment there was a moment of needing to be there, knowing that I'm doing my duty.
Was it everything that you thought it was going to be? Everything that you hoped? Did it?
I didn't really have
have
that expectation of it being anything. Mm-hmm. More or less, just along the lines of whatever is there is whatever is there. And I was happy with what I saw. I was expecting, just a gathering of people, and it pretty much turned out to be that. A gathering of, different types of people, different, different classes, different political belief structures, different ideals, and different political ideologies and all this other differences, like all these and excuse me, all these other differences that we kind of left to the side and came to an agreement on the Grove being the enemy and the Illuminati being the main culprit of all the world's woes and pretty much this current state that we see.
Yeah, but that would go back to the devil then. That would go all the way back to the evil one himself, wouldn't it?
Depends on who you talk to. A Christian would say, this is all the work of Satan. A Muslim would say, this is all the work of Satan. A Jew would say, this is all the work of Satan. A spiritualist type would probably say, this is the universe. Atheists would just say that it's just the work of people that are, I guess, selfish and out for themselves. So it's just depends on how you look at it. I guess everyone has their own different point of view, especially when it comes to the banks. When it comes to the banks, a lot of religious types equate the banks being Satan themselves, because when you talk about banks, you're dealing with money, which we all know as the quest and lust for money is the root of all evil. So it kind of lends itself to its evilness, I guess you can say. The banking system, be as it may, where you have people jockeying for power to control nations through finance and through inflation, you see this type of evil take over nations throughout the world. United States being one of the more recent, I guess you can say, but the United States was more or less taken over 100 years ago. In 1913, where they had the creation of the Federal Reserve System, where the bankers met in private, created a privately held system, where they themselves were the ones to stand and profit, while the American people were left to basically carry the bag and have all the burden rest upon their shoulders. So it's a pretty wicked system. You have a lot of different players in it. When it comes to the International Monetary Fund, it knows no race nor religion. It's a pretty evil structure that will usurp and infiltrate any group that it sees as being vulnerable, especially nations that financially can't sustain themselves. Nations that are seeking a hand and definitely need help, they'll reach out to the IMF and sign loans that pretty much open up the country for rape by the financing.
Some of that I heard today made me think, gosh, would I want to come back to something like that with this being predominant? And I thought to myself, hell no, I don't want to be a part of something that's chaotic and unfocused, and that's what I was impressed with. However, there were some good points made, and a lot of people making some sense. Well, everybody has to make sense for anybody that's looking, because they can take the negatives that you give them and they blow it up, and it makes your cause weaker and less effective. If you want to be effective, you have to be thinking and walking as one, and not letting a bunch of nefarious people jump around and act like fools and destroy your cause that you're trying to win. Stand for something, yes. Stand up, yes, but don't act a fool. Because you act a fool, you get a fool's reward. Remember that. Stand by. I'm Walter Bradley, and you may disagree with me, but I like that. Disagreement brings change when it comes to truth. So join us. This is Walter Bradley.
But it doesn't make sense to burn an owl. I mean to burn something in front of an owl, to worship an owl. I don't know. The whole thing doesn't make sense. So, it's trying to make sense out of something that there's really no logic to. So I don't know. It's crazy, man.